Well, I was recently watching a debate on the existence of God between two presuppositionalists on the one hand and two unbelievers on the other hand. And I was reminded of something that also came up in a debate between Greg Bahnsen and uh, Stein, the Bahnsen-Stein debate. Of course, Bahnsen is a presuppositionalist as well. Um, and all three persons, Bahnsen and the two presuppositionalists in this more recent debate, um, did a very good job of pointing out that their opponents don't really have any grounds for morality on the one hand or for reason on the other hand. That's borrowed capital from the Christian worldview. Um, the brain of man has evolved on the atheistic view, on the naturalist worldview. The brain of man has evolved in accordance with the well, I hesitate to use this term, but with the goal of survival, not with the goal of arriving at truth. So there's no reason to trust our brains, as the presuppositionalists rightly point out, on the atheistic view that nature is all there is. Now, that's a good thing that presuppositionalists are doing. But then when the opponents raise the objection, well, why the Christian God? Why not some other God? They just kind of I don't know. The eyes glaze over and they're like, duh. Um, they do a bad job of coming up with an answer of why the Christian God instead of another God. Because the transcendent argument, the transcendental argument, tag, that they use, the presuppositionalists use, that though they may not like to admit it, that is a theistic argument, and the argument concludes in the existence of a God. There is a God who we ground morality in, who we ground our reason in, who we ground truth in, but we do not know. We can know that this being is the God of classical theism, that he is good, for example, that he is holy, that he's not lying, that he's not a liar. But we can't say for sure that it's the God of the Bible with just the transcendental argument. We need to admit the limits of our reason. It can only take us so far. So the presuppositionalist view, I would say, at least as and there's different kinds of presuppositionalists. Not all presuppositionalists would have necessarily been speechless in debates with unbelievers when asked why Yahweh instead of some other deity. So that, I think, is a fatal flaw of presuppositionalism. It does not, at least in some forms, it does not seem to be capable of providing a sufficient justification once you establish the existence of God is a prerequisite to human knowledge and morality. You really can't say what that God is like if you restrict your attention to the transcendental argument, which is what presuppositionalists do. So the leap from a God to Jesus Christ is a bit too much for the presuppositionalists to bear in some manifestations of presuppositionalism. Well, let me hear what you think. Thanks for watching. Shalom out.